What is up, everybody? Communication Breakdown checking back in at Weekend in the Woods 2017. This is your host, Bubba, a.k.a. Sad Boy Shinobi, a.k.a. Can't Get a Bird Ever in Competition. I'm joined today by the Flowmaster himself, Mr. Joshua Grove.
Gracias for having me.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for stepping aside and doing this with me here.
Of course.
So, first things first, man. How have you, or what kind of like, I can't talk, dude. Jesus, man. This is like what I do and stuff, you know? How much fun have you had here this weekend? There we go.
Man, it's been rad. It's been rad. There's been a lot of really good vibes. There's been so many tricks that were landed spontaneously that made people jump off the ground. And, you know, that moment alone, those moments alone, when human bodies physically jump off the ground screaming, full men, right. Almost, you know, on the ground crying because they don't know what is happening in front of them when a 12-year-old kid lands something that seems impossible. You know, it's...
You had a moment of your own, though. Don't short yourself. This man right here, and I don't care what anyone fucking says, landed something this weekend that no one has ever done on a kendama. And I can't describe it. I don't understand it still. But, you know, you'll see it. It's going to be on your Instagram sooner than later. Maybe it already is.
It's already there.
Okay, go check it. Go check it. Where can we find you on Instagram?
joshuaflowgrove. You can also find the greater large at Bonzai Dama.
Yes, yep. And I was just about to jump into that. So, Bonzai Dama, give us an update if you could. What can we be expecting from Bonzai? I know you've got some stuff in the works. I know that's factual. You don't got to spill the beans, but can we expect something pretty Lady McLitterton?
Me and Bonds have something going on. We have something planned for the month of August.
Okay.
And it's not even, I'm not even scared to spill any beans. We're working on putting together a bonsai tour just to get all the damas that we have left in stock and really go on a tour and set up events at different schools, different kendama events in general.
That's so awesome. And
whatever we can find ourselves in.
You guys just doing a U.S. tour as of right now?
I'm not even sure where we're gonna go. It may go from Boulder up north and then west and then down the west coast. We may go east. I'm not sure, but we have a bonsai sprinter van that me and him are gonna be.
Dude, I saw that. It's
cruising
so
in.
legit.
So
now is that's not magnets. That's like you got that painted up for bonsai.
That
right?
was painted on the van. Yeah.
So legit.
So we're excited about that. We haven't got on a trip together in that yet. So that'll be sweet.
It's time. Hey, you know, you want to come to Arizona? We get fucking hype out there. Don't come in August though. If it's in August, skip Arizona.
All right.
It's not even worth it, man. Honestly, like you jam inside, like at the spot where we have to jam on. It's just like the AC only goes so far.
AC on full blast and it's not working.
Dude, it's like 118 degrees on average. 110, 118 between there. Like every summer day, it is a disaster for Kendama players that love the outdoors, man. But okay, yeah. So Bonzai. You know, keep posted on his Instagram specifically and Bonzai's Instagram for the tour that they are gonna, you know, hopefully announce in August, as it's the plan right now. Yeah. So, in comparison to, I guess like okay, so your slack line, and you pull tricks on like balance tricks on a slack line. Like, how could you compare kendama to slacklining? Because I have tried to just stand on it, and I understand like kendama is a balance thing in itself, but like I think that from being like a skateboarder my whole life and like having that like balance would be somewhat easy because of skateboarding integrated with kendama already like in me, but it's not true.
Right.
Slackline is something that's completely different. So like how would you compare like slackline to kendama if you could?
Oh yeah, I mean I had a somewhat of a realization this weekend here about slackline and kendama, and there's a couple different points in relating kendama and slackline, and one is that you're first and foremost fully putting yourself in the present moment.
Okay. Yep.
With kendama, you are fully putting yourself in the present moment to achieve the trick, unless you're, as they say, mindlessly spacewalking or just fidgeting in a way.
Right.
But in that respect of being fully present, your mind and body is connected into that present moment, and each moment has to be a continuous activated sense of awareness. So B, this thing that I came across this weekend as I was helping people walk on the slack line is that some folks get on the line a little nervous, a little unsure. They've never done it. It's the unknown. We're scared. We don't know what to expect.
Of course. Yeah.
And when you get up there, even when I'm holding your hand for stability, you're shaking. The line is shaking. You're physically shaking to the point where you're almost going to get shaken off.
That's exactly what happened to me.
And what I've noticed is when I invite the individual to just take a breath and relax all the tension like in their jaws, their shoulders, and like put that energy down by engaging their core and their quads into the line, grounding yourself into the earth or the line, that you relax into it. You put your full weight and you give yourself to the line. So in comparing that to Kendama now, I noticed there's the shakes on stage. And
real.
I've experienced the shakes. So if you've been on stage, you've probably experienced this where you're not feeling as grounded, as controlled as maybe you did when you're by yourself or with your friends even. And I think it's an interesting thing. I'm not saying I even have the answer to, but it's just an interesting observation of the shakes on the slack line and the nervousness and the unknown, and the shakes on stage, maybe like having that not full boosting confidence that you're going to achieve this trick. You're a little nervous, and so you have that angst and that shakes.
So do you try to focus your nervousness? Like, is that something you've like developed, like grown into doing? Because like you say, you sometimes get the shakes. I get the shakes every single time. Like it doesn't matter. And I genuinely don't really care about like the result of me competing, so that I feel like I shouldn't get so nervous. But it's literally you can't not get nervous. What's up, Hartej?
Hello. I'm leaving, so I just want to say.
Oh, dude.
Hartej coming in for a goodbye.
Yeah, hey, congrats.
Winner of Open.
Winning the Open.
Weekend in the Woods.
Thank you.
So much
Super
love,
savage.
dude.
Hey, safe trip back, man.
Right.
Martin, you leaving too?
Oh crap, my beat. Okay, my Thomas went flying.
Leaving?
His Thomas just rolled halfway down.
Shout out
the
to
hill.
Martin. Shout out to Hartej, California
Martin.
Slayers.
May the flow be with you too.
Yeah.
All right, bye guys.
Later, man. Have a good one.
Spinner.
But yeah,
So have you found, and if you have found a way to kind of focus that nervousness, like what's your technique in doing so, man? So anyone that's listening that might need a little bit of help in that area.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we all have maybe a different way to tune in. For me, there's a couple things. For me, it's just, I'll just list a couple that come to my mind, not in any specific order, but music, just like feeling the music and just flowing for me, like just moving and doing what feels good to me. If I'm just warming up, I'm not trying to do the craziest trick that I know how to do. I'm just trying to do things that I can land to build up my own self-confidence and trust. And then you'll have little moments of flare, of spark, where you start seeing opportunities. Beyond that, I have had, probably like 4 years of yoga practice now, and I found a lot of benefit from doing headstands. Just forearms on the ground, popping up into a headstand, even just for a minute, and having all of that blood come into your head, and then moving your feet around in different patterns to like focus.
Very balanced on that, man. Twisting back and forth. On the
headstand. So there's a lot of different sequences that you can do. And for me, when I come out of that, it's like being on the slack line. You're fully present. You have to be present or you're going to lose your balance. And on stage, you have to be present or you're going to lose your balance.
So like, I guess to take away from that is you just have to not focus on being in the moment, but like unfocus to be in the moment.
I think that's a good way to explore it. For me, it's about letting go and staying in the flow. So when you do have, because you're not going to make everything, every attempt. If you do, you're on point, and that's amazing. People will, respond with screams. But what I'm saying is, it's like pea sticks. When you drop the stick, you simply let it go and stay in the flow with the stick that's in motion. So when you miss your around whirlwind, you miss the second whirlwind, you can't get into your head and say, I'm not, whatever you're telling yourself, whatever the conscious self-talk. I should have gotten this. I can't believe I missed this. I suck. Whatever we're telling ourselves.
Keep moving forward.
Those thoughts even still may occur, but it's like a bird going through the air. Just let that bird be witnessed and then let it keep cruising. Don't like try to fly up in the air and grab that bird and hold on to it.
That is great advice, man.
So just let it go and keep believing. It's the ability to be patient in the process and observe each attempt as an opportunity to adapt and integrate and then persist with that.
That I couldn't agree more, man. And like I said, it's a little hard to think about that like in the moment, but if you kind of go into these things with that thought process. Like, I know I've never had that said to me about kendama and like how to like. So this is like kind of a personal advice, but now there's just no way I'm gonna be able to like compete and not take some of these pointers, you know. And there's no way it won't help. Like the more nervous you are, the more apt you are to fuck up or whatever. Like your hand are shaking and your dexterity level like drops. But like I just need to find out a way how to like get centered beforehand, and like I haven't done any of those things you talked about. Like when I'm in line on 7 to spike or like open, I'm just like trying to do those tricks, and I'm already discouraging myself because I'm not lacing. But like just the simple switch up between that and like flowing and really getting your confidence in line while you're waiting, and just get a little bit of a mood shift, open up a little, you know, area of opportunity to get excited for yourself. That's great advice, man.
Yeah,
I think you could take that and apply that to most aspects of life, not just kendama competition.
I would agree.
And on top of everything, like, you know, Josh is pretty much, from my knowledge, solely responsible for introducing peace sticks to the kendama community. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, there was the roots behind where they came from, but I was what brought them into the community.
Yeah, I'm somewhat familiar with the two dudes. I forget their company name. I'm almost positive you know who I'm talking about. They're like
the guys that made peace sticks.
Yeah,
it's just peace sticks.
Is it just peace sticks?
Peaceful Ninjas is what.
Peaceful Ninjas.
Yeah, so I've worked with them for a while.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah, shout out Peaceful Ninjas. Shout out Shine and Evan Rilling, the brothers that have brought this like indigenous knowledge of, you know, learning through play. And
it's so incredible what it can do. Like just, you know, the first time NKR was last year was the first time I had tried out peace sticks, and I think I told you even there, I was like, dude, this is fucking great, like whatever. But this year, I was the one that's done it before, and Kenyatta actually had never done the peace sticks before, and he was like, oh, you know, I'm gonna stick to one. I'm like, oh yeah, we'll stick to one, but like trust, like you're gonna have so much fun. I don't know why this is so much fun, but
tossing sticks
we're
around.
Gonna have fun. And so we paired up, right, and we just started going one at a time. It was cool. Like you get your flow, do a couple spins, and get silly with it, whatever. And then you introduce two, and you really like start putting that hand-eye coordination to work, and like integrating flow with someone who's equally as interested and open to the idea of throwing sticks at each other, literally tossing sticks at each other in a fashionable sense. Yeah. Which is not very appealing when you like say that, or like when someone sees you doing it, it's like, okay, like whatever. The moment you fucking do that, it's just like, I don't know, man. This is pure, like, I want to say pure happiness, of course, but I feel like a kid, dude, just like kendama. Like, I feel like a child, like having the most fun. No batteries required. Just you and that dude or the girl connecting, like, on all levels of, like, trusting each other and shit. And you do such a good job of explaining, like, what peace sticks are supposed to do for you, or, like, the potential, at least, it has. Yeah. And, dude, I'm honestly, like, I don't give credit where credit's not due, but I'm grateful that you introduced that to the kendama community. And, like, even I've told people, like, hey, dude, go on sweets. And they've been off sweets for a while now, right?
Yeah, they were up there for like a year. You know, I think, you know, it's something that just needs to be, to me, the biggest opportunity is using them in education. Okay. Because it's a great way to break up in between different kendama activities. Mm-hmm. You know, it's great to do an hour of kendama games and activities and those things, but it's also great to bring diversity. Yeah. A diverse range of play and different lessons that can be learned through different things.
Absolutely. And it's still teaching the same lesson, it's just in a different way. Like, kendama can get taxing sometimes.
Totally.
You know, it can get you like, I hate feeling frustrated, but like sometimes I'll be playing kendama and it's just like, fuck. And there's a piece, if you had a couple of peace sticks to throw around with a buddy, your like vibe will go right back up as soon as you start tossing those things. It's so weird. I just smile just thinking about that shit. And it's so funny how something so simple as kendama, but even more simple, a peace stick, a legit, like, and when I say stick, it's not like a little ass stick you throw around. If you can, you brought bamboo ones you made yourself.
Yeah, I mean, it's about like 18 inches long, you know.
Okay, so that shape and that circumference is perfect size. So like, if you're listening and don't know what peace sticks are, it's not literal like little twigs that you're throwing at each other. You know, they're how do you even, like a drumstick, I guess.
It's like a taiko. It's like a Japanese taiko drumstick. It's a little thicker, but you know, the original ones were made in Ojai, California. Okay. By Shine and his brother Evan, and then they made efforts to, after doing a lot of peace sticks events and peace ceremonies within Ojai, they actually opened, they bought land in Nicaragua and created a peace center, like for world peace in Nicaragua on this beach. And there's a tree down there called the guasimo tree, which is a really big, like local tree, indigenous tree to Nicaragua. And they have really big branches, and on those big branches, there's these smaller, like stick-like branches.
Right.
And they literally harvest hundreds upon hundreds, if not like 1,000 sticks off of the tree, eco-harvesting with machetes. And then they have like the local community that's working with the center to all sand them down with, like, whittle them down and then hand paint them. Like all the kids like come in, like paint different symbols for peace. And so, I mean, a lot of the sticks that people have played with have touched a lot of hands from around the world.
That's amazing.
And, you know, like that's one of the first things we do with P6 is join hands. And, you know, we're connecting energy and with the intention for peace internally, outwardly, and sharing that around the world.
Yep. I couldn't think of a better message to spread, man. And thank you for playing your role, like, in the world, dude. Like, it's not just the Kendama community. And I'm not just, you know, blowing smoke up your ass, but, like, dude, there's so many people that just would need that experience of, like, just letting go. And all you need to do is throw a fucking stick around, man. That's all you need to do. And if you can tap into that and, like, get people involved and show them, it's like, hey, you know, this is like another way to release. Like, you don't have to just be at home pissed off all the time. And,
and it's,
you know,
we are going to be angry. We are going to get frustrated. We are going to get sad.
Humans.
And this isn't about like disregarding those feelings. It's not about ignoring them. It's about simply being aware of them and really practicing not becoming reactive to like that lava that is burning inside your chest, the anger that makes you want to throw a dama into the earth.
Right.
When that occurs, you can either react instantly or you can be Zen or in the state of mindfulness and take a millisecond, even just like a second, to like just observe that you're pissed, observe that you're angry and that you want to throw it on the ground, and be like, okay, why do I want to throw this on the ground right now? Like, question yourself. Like, why am I doing this to myself? And just that alone, neurologically and like hormonally, the chemicals are going to start to reside a little bit. You know, it's like shaking up a bottle of water with a bunch of sand in it. It's going to be super dirty and murky. You're angry. You're clouded. The dark side, it's clouded. Your vision is clouded, Anakin. So let the bottle sit for like, you know, 10 seconds and like the sand begins to fall and you can see through the water again. You know,
that's the way of putting it, man. And, you know, I've come a long way, as far as like controlling those reactions. Like, that process I have now, but it doesn't happen as quick. Like, if I'm feeling pissed off about something, it takes me a little longer to, like, realize that I'm mad. But every time I do take the time to break down, you know, my rationale of, like, why I'm feeling that way, it's almost, like, laughable.
Right.
It's like, I'm mad because what? You know, it's like, all right, fine. But I'm working on it. Like, I don't know what I have to do to like, make that process speed up. But it's a part of my process now. So I've come a long way. And, you know, to talk to someone who is, like, and it makes sense now because I see you get pissed, like, fuck, you know, like, what the hell? And then you're good, like, almost literally, like, 5 seconds after, you're like, oh, that's cool, man, you know, just tossing it and whatever. Like, even when you're grinding for what, an hour and 15 minutes?
I don't even know, man. I wanted to say it was like 45 minutes, but it was definitely like at least an hour.
No, your first video was like 10 minutes, and then it was a 40-minute video. We had to stop it, and then you kept going. Dude, it was the grind. It was the coolest shit, man. But, yeah, I support your message, dude, and I support you as a person, you know, doing your thing out here. You know, you've always got a place to hang out. If you're in Arizona, come kick it. We'll keep you fed, and we'll keep you fed. We'll leave it at that.
Nourished.
Yeah, we'll keep you nourished. Yeah, well nourished. And you know, thank you again for being out here, dude, and spreading that message and just being a source of positive influence for especially the kids here, but like adults too, man. Adults need guidance sometimes.
We all do, man. We all just need to be, you know, as I like to consider, like, just we're remembering what we already know. Okay. You know, when you have this like giant breakthrough of like, oh, this is how it works. It's like we're just remembering that.
Right. You had the knowledge, but something was blocking it from you.
And it's just opening up to seeing that again and putting that into practice.
If you guys haven't observed by now, Josh has a very nice way of putting things into an understandable perspective for anybody, including myself. But again, man, thank you so much for stepping aside and doing this with me.
Thank you, Baba, dude. I'm grateful that you're doing this. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, feelings are mutual. You know, I definitely just want to take this message and spread it to whoever hasn't heard it yet. If you hit one person's heartstrings, our job is complete.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, again, thank you. Bonzai Dama or Kendama on?
On Instagram, it's Bonzai Dama. You can check
Okay.
out Bonzai Kendama online.
Okay.
But yeah, Joshua Flowgrove's the main Instagram, and just stay up to date for what's going on. There's a lot coming. There's the flow is rising.
Yes.
The flow is rising.
You can't stop it, man.
We
Can't
are
stop
all a
it.
part of it.
The ice capsules of hatred are melting, man.
Yes, and so are the real ones.
Hell yeah. So again, thank you. We're gonna sign off here and maybe have a couple more people on and wrap up this amazing weekend. All right. Peace.
Perceive it, believe it, achieve it, my friends.
We'll leave it at that. Later.